All right, ladies and gents, welcome, welcome. We're going to switch up the colors and put Kongen to red. We've got a best of 3 in the second round of T90 Titans League. This is silver, and the ultimate goal for these players is to work their way up to be one of the 9 players promoted into the relegated spots from the previous season. And that was about 5 months ago we had that previous season. And then moving on, the next full season will be in January, February for gold, and then for platinum. So we've got Rmcoo. You see the CL in front of him. If you know what you're talking about, you know that that's a Clown Legion player. This guy's incredible with his monks. And he's really good strategically. Now, I think he can struggle at times when it comes to execution. But he's gone for the Lithuanians here, which is a really good pick on Atacama, a map that has water. But all the wood is shifted towards the middle. So we use the water version for this. Anyways, I really like the build. I actually had used this build in the past in, it was like 2 years ago now in an event I played. And it does incorporate taking straggler trees, but it's worth it, in my opinion, to do it this way. You don't need to have as much on food with the Lithuanians because of the fact that you start with so much food. In fact, he's actually gone excessively on food. And he's trying to think about how much he wants on wood right now for more fish. On the other side, we have Kongen, a player I know very well. And Kongen and I, just like, you know, Rmcoo, we played each other a lot on ladder. But Kongen and I have chatted a lot more. And Kongen's got a lot of talent. I actually think these players are like perfect polar opposites of each other. Kongen likes to play open. He hates monks. And he doesn't necessarily have like any... He doesn't necessarily have any like mechanical drawbacks as far as I can see. Like, he's a really fast player. And then Rmcoo is more like heavy strategy, likes to go for a lot of like all-in style instead of taking it to late game. And so it could be a fun one here. And we've got 2 top-tier civs for this map, by the way. This map is normally dominated by scouts. And if the map is dominated by scouts, you're going to want the Magyars because they're cheap and you get forging for free. And then if you are Lithuanians, you're going to want scouts on the field so you can protect those relics, right? But the eco lead is there for Rmcoo because of the 2 fishing ships. Now you normally have to decide on, do you go for the 3rd fishing ship or do you go for a lumber camp? And clearly he wants to go for a lumber camp here. Yeah, he didn't take any sheep, right? He didn't take any. So he's got all 8, I guess, llamas underneath his TC. And there's Rmcoo's lumber camp. All right. Well, I like the build so far from both. There's only so much you can do if you're Magyars to catch up. The only thing I'll be keeping an eye on is, will he dock? Some players just say, screw it, I'm not going to dock. And I have found in most cases, I've seen a lot of games, played a lot of games, that the player who has fish is in the better position to succeed. Because if you have, let's say, 4 fishing ships bringing you in food, your opponent, in order to even the scores, needs to kill 4 villagers. Now, it's not quite that simple, right? Because it depends what resources the villagers would be on. And then also, there's not a ton of fish on this. There's only 4 deep fish of 225 food a pop. But we're just going to have a difference in strategy here. And it seems like Kongen's not even going to worry about the water. Hasn't even scouted the water. He doesn't care. And maybe that plays more towards his win condition. We'll see. I think Rmcoo will want to get up to feudal and make some spearmen first, though. Faster spearmen can help out a lot in this matchup. So I've even seen instances where players won't even go scouts with Lithuanians. They'll just go like 5 spearmen and just patrol them around the map. Because the one weakness of the Magyars is that they're predictable. Though, of course, being predictable isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're as good as what you do as the Magyars. And a little unlucky here for Kongen, guys. He didn't actually see any of the lumberjacks here. Scouting around. And then, meanwhile, Rmcoo is just... I mean, he's still got all 8 sheep underneath his TC. And he hasn't moved out at all. So 3 fishing ships for him, obviously. Kongen's going to want to take a head start here and be aggressive. It's an alpaca. No, it's a llama. It's his llama there. See? It's a llama. Oh, it's dead. Okay, sad times. All right, so faster feudal, more eco working, and still 8 sheep underneath the TC. It was more complicated. It was more in depth, this build order. But certainly seems to be a better position for me. And our Rmcoo is going to go for the stable. And we're going to have the exact same thing here from Kongen. And Kongen went up in 19 pops. So if this was Arabia, there was no water incorporated in it, that'd be about a standard time. It's not a slow time. It's normally as fast as you see to be able to have good economy behind this. Why did you zoom in on dying alpaca? I'll zoom in again. All right? I'll zoom in again. Look, they're all going to die. Look. Yeah. Death is a reality of life. All right? The sooner you accept it, the better. I'm just here to help ease that transition for you. Okay. Good scouting here from Kongen. Now, I'm going to assume he knew that there was water here on this map. I hope he's not going to panic now and be like, oh, crap, I didn't prepare. I didn't know there was water. Crap, he's got fish. So, we assume he knows. And good walling from our Rmcoo. He also gets forging from the spearman, but uh-oh. Look at this villager. You could tell Kongen wants to get that villager over towards that pond. And now he's thinking twice about it because there's a lot of army here from his opponent. Great job from our Rmcoo so far. And this is really good play. That's even good micro as well. Now we're just going to see this Vil go for a tower. Let's see how our Rmcoo does with the quick walling here. And he goes for the houses, the palisades, and it's perfect there. But you got more pressure over here, buddy. And uh-oh. Magyar scouts are going to get in. And this is what I mean, man. It can happen in the blink of an eye. Then a scout's getting hit on this side, and a villager's gone down. And the tower could be on its way up. That's our first big eco kill in the game. At the moment, our Rmcoo, he doesn't seem to notice this. He can't really do anything about it except making a tower of his own, and that's exactly what he's going to do. And you see the farming eco coming in here for Kongen. Good pokes there from his spearman, but he'll lose one. Won't be too upset about that, though, because he weakened some scouts. Will we see a farm transition from our Rmcoo here? And will we see Kongen save this Vil? Yes, we will. Great job from him. Close game. So you got to get the mill now, and then eventually you're going to have to just go farm, 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 farm in most cases. But that Vil goes down. Great job, our Rmcoo. 1-to-1 now on the Eco KD. And our Rmcoo is also going to think about fishing up here, it looks like. And KD's now 4-to-3. The scouts from Kongen are going to move out. He rewalls himself at home, and he needs to be careful. We'll see if he can protect his berries. The thing is, our Rmcoo hasn't scouted anything. Like, everything about this game for him has been building up at home, but he hasn't really thought with intent to kill his opponent yet. And that could maybe be a weakness just of his style. And so it's a bit reactive. Like, this here is an opportunity. That could have been him going forward. Kongen with a nice snipe. But he's still behind an eco this game. And he's, like, way behind an eco, and he's behind an army. And the fishing ships have just been bringing in food consistently. You're just fighting at such a disadvantage if you don't dock. Which is why you'll see even civs like Japanese be chosen sometimes over a civ like Magyars because of the fishing. 7-to-4 KD. Obviously, could be more here for our Rmcoo. Can he step it up here with the aggression? He's defended nicely. He's got double woodline control. He's got his berries. Can he counterattack properly? Here he comes. Will he notice this? We've got the 3 Magyar spears and some big hits for Kongen. He got pokes on quite a few scouts there. And he's got more scouts of his own right now. And the other thing that's really tricky to gauge, guys, is farming eco more efficient at this stage? Let's look at the food collected. Yeah, look at that. So it's actually better off for Kongen with the food eco. And he's not spending as much food on scouts. Great job swinging this back into your control if you're Kongen. Now, guys, I don't want to spoil this. But I know people are getting excited and people are like, wow, this is a really good game. I can't wait to watch more of it. So I saw on the dashboard earlier, which shows information, that these guys were in this game for a long time. That's all I know, okay? YouTube will already have the spoils because they could just see how long the video is. I think and I hope that that means, maybe it was a bug on the dashboard, that this game goes on for a long time. And look at this fight! How do you even make sense of it? In the end, I think Kongen comes out better off there because there's villagers from our Rmcoo moving around. And they both lost some spearmen, but the scouts still remain for Kongen, and there's opportunity to do damage. R-Base, agree to disagree. I personally think that the fishing aspect makes the map more dynamic. It's not like Cross, where if you don't fish, you're dead. It just makes... It adds that extra layer of complexity. And I think normal Atacama is more Civ-winny in a tournament situation because of how, fixated it is on only the wood. So I really like the version with a little bit of water, clearly. But, we got to see if it's going to be more than that for Rmcoo as far as his food's concerned. Like, this is a real messy aspect, and this just is the drawback of trying to play the complicated style. Again, Forging's been in the whole time for Kongen. It's now coming in for Rmcoo. And Kongen's not stopping. More and more spearmen from him, more and more scouts from him. We've got bloodlines, though, for Rmcoo, so he really wants to commit to more upgrades on his scouts. And for a player who loves arena and closed maps, Rmcoo is playing amazing right now. And he's even going to get a villager over here for more fish. But think about how your brain works when you're playing this game, right? Like, you're like, okay, I've got to do this, that, and the other. When you have to fish, it's just one more thing on the list, right? And so the all-in style is more suited for the player who's just adding the farms all the time, and that's precisely what we're seeing at home from Kongen. I have to say, the farms are also gorgeous. I'm very jealous of his placement there. Rmcoo's in trouble right now. It's 15 army for Kongen. It's 2 now for Rmcoo, who just simply hasn't been taking good fights. He got bloodlines, remember? He got all those upgrades, but he doesn't have the army now. But he does drop a tower, and the tower is actually really good against the Spearman Scout unless more upgrades come in. Feels like an invitation for Kongen to maybe head towards Castle Age right now. You still got scouts that you can micro. And that's a good point. Like, the idle TC time for Kongen's pretty high. It's probably because he's had more focus on those scouts, which has led to better micro. He's going to drop a market here, too. Just really feeling the pressure now, because he's seen his opponent has a market as well. And he doesn't see his opponent has army right now. So he's just like, oh, man, I hope he's not up to Castle Age. It might sound ridiculous, but what about taking out Blue Stable? If Blue was on the way up, he'd want to make Knights, right? It's probably not as good as going after the gold miners, because now you have bloodlines, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was a dumb thought, actually. It was an idea, at least. I don't know. I think Rmcoo's in trouble here. The fish here, by the way, they're idle, right? So he hasn't been able to find that balance and mix in any fish traps. Fish here are working. Fish is gonna start happening over here. But Kongen, who I consider the favorite in this series, and the favorite on Atacama, or any map like this, certainly. He's in the driver's seat right now. Blacksmith. I guess he didn't have one. Okay. 4-1 eco KD after all of that, but 24-24 on the total KD. As we see armor right now for Kongen. I wonder if he's going to go like Pike Siege in the middle. I would have loved to see him go full Knights, but maybe he doesn't want to do that against Lithuanians and their speedy spearmen. Actually, he might be making spearmen as well because, oh god, this feels in trouble. Oh boy. Rmcoo needs to get a wall down here. Oh shoot. Okay, this is bad. This is really, really bad. I think in the end, we might see Kongen leave. But Kongen will still be very happy with this. He's getting a lot more eco. Yeah, balance is definitely a mess right now for Rmcoo. But it's the gold, man. It's the gold in the market that's going to help him. Adding more fish there. How many stables do we have? 3 stables eventually for Kongen. He's in Castle Age, so he could make Knights, but he's going to go Pikeman and Armor first. All right. I mean, you do get the +2 attack on the Pikes then, too, right? I don't think you want to be anywhere near this tower, though. More stables for Rmcoo. It's going to be all in, right? Who said they wanted all in? You're going to get it. The wood, obviously, a big focus because the players are so close together. Knights getting into this wood line could finish off the game. But the eco count's still pretty insane. And the fish traps are slowly starting to come out. I mean, Rmcoo's doing a really good job there. No, you never go underneath a tower here, do you? I don't think this is what you want to do with your pikes. And the quick walls from Rmcoo, great job. And he's in this game. He's barely in this game. Because Kongen just can't find a way to do damage. But let's see. Pikeman's coming in for Rmcoo as well. Again, he's fantastic with monks. He's going to have his own pikes. He has the tower. No fletching or anything. Also doesn't have the attack upgrades for free like the Magyars. But the tower's helping a decent amount. And now Pikeman's in. Now over here, Rmcoo has to defend himself. He's going to drop a town center while he repairs the house. How's the fight looking? The fight's actually looking pretty reasonable considering the circumstances here for Rmcoo. Look at the KD, guys. It's so close. Rmcoo didn't lose too much of his eco there, and he kills all the pikemen. And we'll see if he has enough pikemen to defend the wave of knights that's coming in, though. Monastery could be needed from both to heal up or get conversions. Okay, now this gets more complicated because now there's knights, but there's enough pikes. Rmcoo holds. I know the average player feels a lot of a lot of stress and anxiety when they're playing just ranked games, right? Like the countdown after you get a game. Oh, does that not freak people out or what? But this is a tourney. Like, and these guys, they haven't played in that many tourneys. They have played, but they've got a real opportunity. They can look at the group and say, wow, I can fill that spot there in gold, which is unique to the scene, right? Normally it's like, okay, you have this tourney, you lose a round or two, and then you just try and play the next one and try and win an extra round before you inevitably lose. The idea of Titans League is to give players these moments. That's a good engagement for Kongen, I think. I mean, the only reason I said this is because some of the pikes were stuck. And you can see now there's a lot more red than blue here. Villagers are getting picked off. A lot of precious gold miners going down. Many of the knights are weak. One gets converted. Somehow Rmcoo's still ahead in eco, and that's because of the fishing aspect. He, however, didn't react here. Great job from Kongen. Kongen will be so happy when he sees that, and Rmcoo's going to realize, oh man, that hurts. But it's 6 army for both of them, and the eco is still pretty similar. Let's go! Let's go. What a game. What a great game. Also, stone mining from Kongen, clearly thinking about a TC. We're going to see the same from Rmcoo. You just have to give it a moment. I believe that he's going to shift these villagers over to stone. They defaulted to wood there. He wants that stone badly. It's only defense right now, too, so he can't really go for like a killer play. We'll be curious to see if he sees relics and if he wants to go for relics at all. Because he's not really making knights. Relics still always make sense just for gold income. Still would love to see siege here from Kongen. Like, I think that's a clear move from him. The pikeman diving underneath the gold here was his biggest mistake this game. I think if he kept the pikeman with siege, this is a completely different game. But he felt the need to pressure. And pikeman moving out. And it's an engagement Kongen will take because he feels like, I have to. But now he adds the siege, and it's all very reactive from him. And we do have the more stone mining now from Rmcoo, and he's not afraid to use the market, and he's not afraid to micro his monks. And Kongen is falling apart here a little bit. He's losing control. Oh, man, this is so sick. And now the pressure comes in, too, because you're like, oh, God, I'm the Arabia player. I should be beating him. I was castellated so much faster. You have to try and block out those thoughts, but it's not easy. Okay, we are going to have both players build a castle at the same time, I think. That's my prediction. Because Rmcoo is going to use the market here. He's going to sell everything he can and just drop a castle here, I think. Maybe not with siege being there, actually. The siege was so nice, right? Even just 1 or 2 scorpions has been so helpful. Forcing Rmcoo to get his own siege. Okay. I was wrong with my prediction. I thought Rmcoo was going to send it, but he's scared now, and he might send it after he gets the mangonel. But that could be around the same time that Kongen goes for his castle. And there's Kongen with his own castle. Okay. Kongens will go up. Rmcoo will have a decision to make. This is a big chunk of wood that gets denied because of this. What do you do now if you're Rmcoo? And how do you micro your units and add eco and do everything at the same time? Oh my god! Oh, the monks have to dodge. The siege is going to go down here. Oh boy. Oh god, he's placing it there? Oh, and the pikemen are shredding knights over here. A couple conversions happen. Monks are going to die though. He's dropped his castle there. Kongen needs to focus fire with the castle here. I think Rmcoo will be happy with losing his pikeman here, because he's going to lose it anyways as he runs away. And the castle will go up for Rmcoo. It's 68 villagers versus 66. The army count's super low for both. What a crazy game. Oh. Petards from Rmcoo. So Rmcoo's going to try and go petards. He wants to take this castle out because he recognizes how important the middle is. He can still take wood freely, but you definitely need to get fletching, at least if you're Kongen, so it's not as easy. And both players could consider rams, but it would make more sense for Kongen to go rams because there's no siege workshop immediately behind this. Whereas for Rmcoo, if you go rams here, the mangonel behind can defend it. There's not many pikemen, guys, but there are going to be monks. And that TC protects this just general area. And this tower is going to allow an avenue for Kongen to push the left side. So I'm still liking Kongen's position here. Let's see. Getting some beautiful raids in here. But he doesn't really seem to be thinking about how important the castle can be. And when you're up against Lithuanians, if they take out your castle and their castle's still standing, and they can go for Latus instead of knights. Latus are really strong. Look at the stone mining here. An outstanding game, guys. And by the way, all the fishing ships are fish trapped, by the way. If they're not already on fish, they're on a fish trap. So that's untouchable food eco at the moment. So complicated, though. I think Kongen's going to lose his castle, and this game's going to just get wild. This is Kongen's inexperience, though, on these types of situations. It feels like he even has the better eco to go for petards as well. But I think he's just not even thinking that petard could be an option. It's also a very specific thing, to be clear. It's not like that happens all the time. It's great play from Rmcoo. Look at that eco KD, by the way. Rmcoo's still in this game. There's 5 petards. 5 petards won't be enough. You need 8 to take a full HP castle. So in this situation, you probably need like maybe 6. 6 takes you close. Knight gets converted there. TC's getting pushed back. Rmcoo's losing ground. He's losing a lot of ground. Kongen's been getting kill after kill after kill after kill. Their eco's barely working for Rmcoo right now. He needs more on gold. He needs wood access. How can he get wood access? He actually has the TC here still, which is funny. Yeah, so since this is like 3,800 HP, I think the castle will go down. It depends on the timing of the petards hopping out. And also Ozone. I'll be casting the entire Tamate Survivalist series. So happy to hear it's good. No spoilers, obviously, please. Oh, look at that. He hops in and out of the TC. But Kongen's like, he's in kill mode. He's like, I need to kill every monk I can when I can. I guess the problem here is even if you petard this down, you don't have a follow-up attack. And you can't easily run in there and build a castle. That's the main problem right now. This needs to be saved. You need to save this. No, he doesn't save it. Pikeman count's pretty high. There's still monks in the TC. Oh, the petards didn't do it. It went down to 20 HP. Okay, it's going to get shot down now. And now let's see if Rmcoo... Yes! I think Kongen could be in trouble. Does Kongen even know he just lost that? I think he wants to go imp so he can treb. But he doesn't have a castle now. He's obviously has to look at all of this. And Rmcoo, and rightly so, just sends so many villagers to build this. And we're going to see a castle here from Kongen. And he clicks up. But does he see this one? I think this would have been the spot. Does he delete it? Nope, he commits. Oh, boy. And meanwhile, we have the lovely horse color upgrade coming in for our Rmcoo. But what a crazy game. That castle spot is horrible to deal with. Oh, my goodness. And now, this is all open to raid, right? This could be killed. This can be killed. This can be killed. It just needs... We just need to see our Rmcoo do it for once. And I think the best thing you can do right now, if you're Kongen, besides killing your own knights on the house, is continue to push. That way, our Rmcoo can't send a lot forward. Okay, that's the wheelbarrow TC, but I freaked out thinking it was the imp TC. Don't put the relics there, bro! No! Well, at least he dropped it off. That's some golden come. It's not easy to think about that stuff while you're playing. Barracks now from Kongen, so he's gonna try and like make pikes, which is probably the good play. He's finding out he can't really push. Who's winning right now, guys? If you had to pick one person's position, who would you pick? I think it's closer than the stats suggest right now because of how much potential there is for our Rmcoo to do damage. But I think you would still want Kongen's position because of his resources and being an imp, obviously. But like, if our Rmcoo just moved in, like that, he's had a real issue with this. He gets a position and then he doesn't go raid. Look at his scouting on his opponent's base. That's just the type of game it's been for him. If he were to actually raid, the Vil count would possibly be even. But Kongen's made a lot of pikemen now because he's had time. And obviously, full credit to him for this continuous pressure. Our Rmcoo, I think, should continue to fight. Because you might lose this castle, but you still have all the wood control, and you still have so much wide open economy you can hit from your opponent. But he's not doing it yet. Obviously, he'll lose this ground, though. And now the Magyars get that +4 attack for free, and the Knights are still going to be able to loop around a bit. And garrison there from Kongen as he gets halved now, making the raids much more difficult. He's just streaming everything in. I love the confidence from him. And TC could go down. Okay, good work, Kongen. Also has a Magyar Hussar over there. A lonely Magyar Hussar. That can be nice. And the Treb's now here as well, so Blue's going to lose this castle. Still hasn't gone for any raids. Kongen looking better and better here. He's attacking the farms, which is probably just a patrol bug. That happened in a previous series as well, and that happens to me sometimes, and I don't like it. And is there enough defense here from Rmcoo? He's down an age. He's down 30 villagers. He doesn't have any countering going on. The relics won't make much of a difference if he doesn't have army. And as tough of a fight of it as it was, as difficult as it was, you know, skipping out in the water altogether, Kongen is probably going to win this game now. Really good prioritization of techs. Really good constant fighting from him. It's just the middle's an issue, right? He needs to somehow push back the middle. But he can now, right? Like, he could just have army protect these Trebs. There's no way Blue engages against this. It's possible the eco just wasn't there for our Rmcoo at the time, but it really felt like there was potential in here, right? But that's area he never scouted this game, so he doesn't even know. It's not in his mind at all. I thought he could have killed like 20 villagers with 5 to 10 Latus because Red didn't have anything there for a while. But now he just can't deal with the Trebs. And now we're probably going to see Kongen finish this one off, but barely, man. I think Kongen kind of got away with one a little bit. I think he's going to look back and the pikemen engaging underneath the tower, he's going to see that as a little bit of a mistake. I think had he just gone siege pike with the knights and just pressured the wood line, this game wouldn't have gone on as long as it did. He lost a lot of army there. But he's a confident guy and he's aggressive and he's always been this way. So I think that's just part of his style. And Rmcoo, part of his style is not resigning. Doesn't want to call it quits just yet, but Score is definitely saying it's GG, and GG it is. Kongen had to fight so hard there, though. 57 eco killed. Only lost 12 that game, and still it was that difficult. I think our Rmcoo is going to have a pretty closed map for the next game, because He should have a home map like Fortified Clearing or Arena. So one of those two is coming up next. I'm kind of leaning towards Fortified Clearing. So Rmcoo's not out of the series yet. Obviously, best of 3 here, guys. The thing as far as like focus goes, guys, is it is easier, I feel, to play it how Kongen did with the farms and the scouts and not worrying about water. But, you know, if you were a robot that could make every move perfect all the time and pressure didn't matter, etc., the water play is actually better. Again, it's just not easy. And we saw certain aspects of Rmcoo's economy in Feudal Age, just missing some technologies, etc. All those things just stem from the fact that he went for a much more difficult build to manage. So, as I just said, I'll repeat it. This round of Titans League Silver has been awesome. And the first game in this was awesome. If you like some Atacama action, we had our Rmcoo almost taking a win on one of the more open maps against a player like Kongen, who's an awesome open map player. Our Rmcoo goes for the Gurjaras here on Fortified Clearing for his home map. It's a best of 3, so he needs to win this or he is out. And, you know, we have Poles then for Kongen, which was recently nerfed. But actually, the Gurjaras were recently nerfed as well. I don't think they were nerfed to the same... Actually, I think both civs were minorly nerfed. Let's put it that way. I don't think Poles and Gurjaras are going to be bad, especially on this type of map. I think they're both going to be strong. So, the thing with Poles that changed recently is that they now get 33% gold income from mining stone. So they're still getting gold while mining stone, which is still something that other civs can't do at all. They still have the amazing farming eco, and the unique tech still bonkers, as well as the unique unit. But what that does do more specifically is I think that hurts the build orders you would have for Arena. So I'll be curious to see if like this is at a point now for Kongen where he actually needs to mine gold to do whatever he wants to do, or if he still just mines stone but needs to send extra villagers there. I personally haven't tested the new poles with fast castling, which is what you see a lot on this map. As for the Gurjaras, I mean, my opinion was that it was barely a nerf at all. The chakram and the way they do damage was changed. I still think the unit's insane. I played yesterday and I lost like insane amounts of units to the chakram in combination with other things. So I think Gurjaras are still very strong. Their eco is still awesome because you can put the sheep inside of the mills. And no, I don't know exactly what Rmcoo's going to do. He could actually go aggressive, but I see Gurjaras is actually the favorite here if the sides don't end up mattering. And I say that because Poles can pretty much beat anybody, regardless of if you have halbs or camels, whatever, if it's a long game where you're fighting from the sides. Because their winged hussars are the strongest hussars in the game, and they're incredible to raid, and then combined with their food eco, they're strong. So, I think Rmcoo could either go really aggressive in early castle, which is something that he's known for doing. I could genuinely expect him to go monks and siege with the Gurjaras and not even boom. But he also could try and take it somewhat late and then eventually wall up the sides. Again, you've got 9 relics on the map if you don't already know that. You've got 5 towards the center, and then you've got 2 on either side. At least that's usually the case. So we'll see. T90, how was Kami game on Friday? Is it worth watching them? Yeah, we had some great games. Majority of the games were really good, actually, but I don't remember specifically, so. Very good game. I would be shaking if I played a tourney. Yeah, it's really hard to explain. I don't shake, but I actually have a lot of nervous energy when I play in tourneys. Like, it's so weird. Like, I lost. Now, obviously, the prep for my opponent was really good, and he had some crazy strategies. And, you know, I want to give credit to my opponent, but at the same time, I, like, lost 2-0 to a player who's been, like, 2100 on ladder. And then, to de-tilt myself, I immediately got into ladder, and then I get 2k3. Like, it's, like, completely different when you're playing in a tourney versus when you're playing ranked, and I think it takes a lot of experience. And you know, you lose enough times, you play in high-stress situations enough times, you kind of just get used to it, so. So I played a game, Poles versus Burgundians, and yeah, the winged hussars were a problem because it went into the post-Imperial Age. So we'll see what Rmcoo wants to do. So anyways, we have Feudal Age coming in at 21 pop. You know, you can Tower Rush if you want to. Actually, are we going to see Kongen click up as well? What? Wow, these guys have clicked up to Feudal Age really fast. I mean, I'm not sure what their build orders are going to look like to be able to go Castle Age, but I was thinking that maybe Rmcoo would consider a bit of a tower push because the stone walls are 1080 HP. Whereas on Arena, we have it modded, so it's 1800 HP, and tower rushing is pretty much not a strat. Guess we'll see. Well, there's another factor when winning means more, but also the other thing, and this looks like a fast castle to me for Rmcoo. It's going to be weird, it's going to be wacky, but he's going to make it happen. Meanwhile, Kongen is going militia, and he put a barracks on the right side, and he's sending the militia to the left side, and he's bringing Vills, so he's going Feudal Age Rush. Huh. It just feels like a waste of time to walk the whole way across your base first. But he will get there. Meanwhile, Rmcoo is going to make his buildings over here, and this isn't walled up or anything, so. But yeah, the other thing that I feel is, like, if I play up against a player I should lose to, I play really good, and I hold my own, and I end up getting wins when I'm the underdog. When I'm playing in a position where I should win, there's more pressure there. Because there's a lot of talent, even in players that are worse than me, or worse than others, right? And I guess it's just like that pressure I feel. I don't know if other people feel that as well. Here comes the rush, super late, but the walls are so important here for Rmcoo. He actually has done the right thing here to send enough Vills, and he might have also seen the uptime from his opponent and been confused, and now he knows. Now he sees Man-at-Arms, so he should know something's up. And he's going to have so much on gold. He's got, like, nothing on wood. His food income is literally just this right now. Well, if Kongen loses this game, the only thing we really need to talk about is rushing late. Just very late timing. I think maybe it scouted something that made him think he wanted to go this way. Also, not the biggest fan of that tower, to be honest with you. But he is going to be making archers, and the scout from Rmcoo's weak, so Rmcoo's got to run away now. What's the plan, man? Is he still going to go monks? We know he wanted to go monks. I think he was going to go, like, 3 villagers in the middle, 3 monasteries originally. The number one building for any player like Rmcoo is the market. So he's going to want to keep this thing alive. Behind this, the eco should be half decent for Kongen. He's untouched. 10% of the farm's food when he builds the farm next to the full work. Still getting gold income. And we have double monastery defense. Oh. Oh my god. He's going monks. It's the last unit I would ever go in the back of my base, but he loves monks. I thought he'd go siege, right? Like push down the tower. Nah. He just needs to keep his market alive. He just needs to convert the Man-at-Arms. All he wants to do is keep his market alive, and then he's going to go middle. And believe me, you guys are going to look at this, and you're going to judge, and you're going to say this is stupid. But Rmcoo's insane, and the monk play is possible in these types of maps. And all-ins are possible in these types of maps. Nice little micro here to save the Vills. The market cannot go down, though. You absolutely cannot lose your market. And he's using the monks to push everything away, and well played. You could tell he panicked, though. Okay. Let's see what Rmcoo ends up doing. I mean, this would still leave me worried, because 318 more hits and it goes down. And Kongen should just keep attacking it. You could, in theory, just continue to do that, though, what he's doing, and eventually take it out. There's another full work. Okay. We still have 0 farms here for Rmcoo. He still could lose his market. He might actually lose his market here. Very well played from Kongen. He's sending monks to the middle. He wants relics desperately, as he's bought wood now for a lumber camp. I forgot the fact that he didn't even have efficient lumber economy this whole time. Okay. Well, again, you know, you're going to have to play catch-up if you're Kongen, and he's like, might as well stonewall this, which is not a bad play at all. But I don't think your opponent's going to push the sides. Rmcoo is just trying to get relics. To his credit, despite not having any farms, he has a really low idle TC count. Let's see what happens. Mark it down, guys. Mark it down. Monks are ready. And all the monks are ready for conversions. Okay, archers hide in the tower. Monks are just ferrying in, or shipping in, or delivering some relics. And we have Castle Age coming in any moment now for Kongen, which feels slow, but it's actually standard time behind this amount of pressure. And hey, time for farming now, Rmcoo. Okay. I wonder what Kongen will do. I wonder if he's going to drop a stable. Hey, he's dropped the stable. The funny thing about the stable on the side, though, is I don't know how important this whole left side is compared to the middle. Like, if Rams and monks show up here, you're then going to need to send scouts from the whole way back home. All right, 2 relics right now for Rmcoo. 0 eco upgrades, because who needs that? But we've got 12 monks, so that's nice. And Kongen might be thinking defensive castle into just a lot of economy behind all this. And is obviously making scouts. Now, as someone who's played up against this blue player before, I can tell you, you need to have light calf, and you need to have more than just like 3 or 4, okay? I played a game against him, and we both ended up going for lots of monks because it was just like, it called for it in the situation. Sometimes this strategy just invites you in. He had 60 conversions, and I had 12. You can't out-convert the dude. He's insane. So you got to outnumber him, and don't let the army number snowball against you by donating different units. What is this? Is he going to run in for the tower now? Yeah, I guess he is. He's also getting redemption. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay. You can actually convert the tower, too, which is kind of funny. And yeah, see, this is the trap. See, Kongen doesn't want to lose this position, but he's going in to take an engagement. You should never take. All of those scouts are going to be your enemies. Oh, boy. That's the trap right there. Like, I've done that so many times, so I know how big of a bait it is. And yeah, tower's down. Archer's down. I guess they got deleted. And now you're getting light cap, but you have no army. Kongen's not used to these settings. And oh my god! Convert all the buildings! There's 10 buildings. There's 10 monks. Let's go, baby. Your buildings are my buildings now. Oh, God. Start making houses at home, Kongen. Start making houses at home. Wow. Yeah, Rmcoo's monk micro is amazing. It's so good. And also, he has 5 relics. Could be 6. Could be 7. Could be 8. And then here's the 9th. He could have all relics on a map where there's 9 relics. That never happens. Wow. And then you have to look at the Vil count. Obviously, the Poles have like the crazy eco with the farms and whatnot. But even still, man, 9 relic gold income is no joke. And what Rmcoo typically turns this into is he walks forward, drops a castle on your face, and goes for Trebs and monks. And like, from what Kongen just saw, he's got an army full of monks coming towards him on this side, and there might be a push to back it up. So he's making a castle there for that reason. But I mean, he hasn't looked at the middle the whole game. And he's just going to try and take it late game now. He's just going to try and boom. There's a second TC for Rmcoo. Whew. How many conversions this game? It's not as much as you would think. Only 2. But the healing and the threat of the conversions and the forcing your opponent to delete obviously matters a lot. And it doesn't show on the stats. And here come the Vills. Here come the villagers. He did see a stable going up at one point. And he's going to stonewall this because he doesn't want to get raided on this side. I'm a little disappointed he's not stonewalling here. You don't want to miss out on that stone, but he's got greater things to worry about. You might not like it, but this is what peak Age of Empires looks like. The villagers are exposed to the Light Cav in the middle. And does Rmcoo run away because Light Cav are a counter? Nope. He clicks every single one, and he knows he's going to get a few of them. And he knows there's going to be more monks behind. It's so tilting, man. I think he might actually be the best monk player in Age of Empires 2. That might be exaggerating a little bit, but he's certainly close to it. He's so good. And what he does is he control groups all the way up to like 8 or 9, right? So it's like you press 1, it's doing that monk, 2, 3. And so it's just like 1 click, 2 click, 3 click, 4 click, 5 click. It goes down his whole keyboard. And now the castle's going up. And now you start to like really question, what on earth do I do here against trebuchets? And here's the answer. I don't know. Especially, you can't ever like ram push this back with army now because your opponent has some, you know, some cavalry. I think raiding the sides is a good play. But he converted every single unit in that group and lost 1 monk. Can anyone explain why we see so many monks these games compared to normal? Is it the maps or is it just the players? It's the players. The players like Rmcoo and Huang and all these guys who aren't in like the top 20, top 30, they really make a lot of use out of the monks because they're not quite as technical as other players if they try and play standard. Example here. Like, yeah, maybe, okay, just buy wood for a mining camp at, 28 minutes. That's just what the eco looks like right now for Rmcoo. I'm surprised he hasn't clicked the, gate here. So we could break in. Looks like he's done it now. He's got 8 relics. He didn't see this one. I've never seen someone get 9 relics on this map, so that makes me kind of sad, but 52 villagers versus 72. I have no clue what Kongen does. I mean, Kongen needs to click up to Imp. And then Kongen needs to go all in stables and probably line the stables in the back of your base. And do not click the Imp with a forward TC. You want the safest town center to take you to Imp. And okay, it's going to be that one, which should be fine. Yeah, Bloodless is also really good with monks. I mean, it'd probably be unfair to him and others to say, somebody else. Imagine having to go for a barracks, though, to make pikemen against Light Cav that you gave to your opponent. Oh, no. Oh, hey, that's good. Great job. That was actually well executed there. Okay, a couple monks went down. Stable could still be converted, though. You obviously don't want to lose that or your houses. And we have a castle now from Kongen. You might not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. Peak Age of Empires 2. Stable did get converted there, though. And now we have a second castle from Rmcoo, who does not see that castle from Kongen, but will obviously be building up here towards the trebuchet. He's probably just going to keep buying resources because he doesn't really have the wood. Still doesn't know about that. He would definitely be making trebs if he knew. He's getting chemistry. Still no treb. I don't like the pikeman choice at all from Kongen. I think that it's got to be stable units. And it's got to be only stable units from here. Now he knows about the castle. Now he's going to make trebs, obviously. And this is a problem for Kongen because he needs to somehow stop all this from getting out of hand. And he's still not in the Imperial Age. Trebs are on the way. Like, he didn't know about it. Now he knows. Also, Grajoras get bomber cannons as well, so he could always make a siege workshop and go for that. Eco's actually not too bad behind this for Rmcoo. It's not like he stopped making villagers. It's still in a pretty good spot. The resources are crazy for Kongen. I think he's going to try chemistry to make bombard cannons. You could tell just the pressure's just, it forces you back and you're not sure exactly what to do. He is actually making a trap from this side too, though, which is nice. Hand cannons from Rmcoo. Okay. Why do Gujaras get hand cannon? They get bombard cannons, hand cannons. They get elephants that do 40% more damage. Camels that do 40% more damage. Good monks, apparently. It feels like a weird unit for Gujaras to have. But if they have it, makes some type of sense, right? As we have Slacha privilege now. That makes the gold cost on your knight units cheaper for the Poles. And Kongen's going to need something, but he has no castle now to protect his eco, and he's wide open to raids. But it looks like it's going to be hand cannon, bombard cannon here from Rmcoo, so maybe Cavalier could hold against that. It's so cluttered. Oh, man. And before anyone's like, well, why doesn't he take the sides? I mean, you can, but you can't, like, farm there, too, while you have to do everything else. So it's, like, really tough. It's so much easier to just move 20 tiles forward and dominate your opponent's base than it is to switch sides, go to the right and the left, and have to actually have your economy working there. And so mistakes happen, like the trebuchets, for example. And the trebuchets are going to be taken out by the light cap that used to be on Kongen's side. And TC goes down, and Kongen's trying desperately. He doesn't have Cavalier yet. He's massing knights. He's adding houses because he's losing ground. He'll continue to lose buildings. He has a bombard cannon in there. So he'll probably end up losing that one way or another. What a ridiculous game. And now another town center for Rmcoo. So he knows the only way he loses this game is if his economy isn't looking good. So we might even see him squeak in some eco upgrades here or there. Look at all the knights with blue on them. He's already selected a different knight with all the monks. There's 5 monks. They're on 5 groups. And this might be the end of the game. If he gets those 5 knights, and he has the trebs, and he takes out the bombard cannon, the GG is going to be called. And that's precisely what happens. Like, first off, we have to say, restate exactly what I had said originally about Kongen. His strategy wasn't a bad strategy, particularly against Rmcoo, who, if this was Arena, would send all the monks to the middle and not have a lot of eco, right? So he wanted to pressure him on the sides. But the build order was just off, right? He was so slow with all of this. Like, he's in feudal age already. He needs to be hitting. Like, if he would have made his barracks on the left and gone to the left, I think he wins this game and wins the series. Because he would already be through. So that was a big mistake from him. Apart from that, I think, you know, really needed to prioritize light cap numbers in the middle and that light cap upgrade. Remember, he took a couple bad engagements on the side. But it's, like, so easy to say when you're casting, and when you're in the moment, you're just like, it's just monks, dude. It's just monks. The fact that Rmcoo went for double monastery and had to repair his market in early Castle Age, and that was the talking point, and then he ends up having most of the relics and winning the game like this, it just shows how good he is on a map that isn't Arabia. I remember he almost lost, he almost won Rmcoo the first game too, so it's not like as we go into game 3 that he can't do it here. Okay, so I come into this game with a little more context. The new Portuguese, man. These clowns love it for some reason. And we saw a game earlier today. Well, I played in a game earlier today where someone went fast castle with new Portuguese and killed me with organ guns. After I killed like 4 or 5 vills, all right? I died. And it was painful, and I'm still not really happy about it. Then we saw God of the Godless pick Portuguese on Serengeti and almost beat Arg. And now, it's like the most open map. Reminder, we have Rmcoo now. It's a best of 3. It's in the 3rd game. He's up against Mongols, which is like the best civ on this because of all the hunt. And he's gone Portuguese. And it's just because of the change with Portuguese where you get wood when you take berries. Like, that's the thing. So, I don't know, like, God of the Godless almost won with a fast castle, knights, and monks with 0 farms on Arabia. That actually happened. He almost won. What is the plan here for Rmcoo? This is insane. And guys, my opinion, by the way, is that if you're going to do this, you do need to mill first. Like, I feel like that's taking advantage of the bonus as quickly as possible. But the other thing about it is that I didn't see this eco bonus as like a massive game changer. So I really have to give credit to these guys for already like having so much faith in this new thing. And maybe that's half of it too. It's just the fact that we don't know how to counter whatever is going to happen yet. There's a little bit of uncertainty with it right now because it's still also new. So we'll see. Now, I have seen more games with new Portuguese where they have lost than they have won. It's worth saying. But it's at least part of the conversation at the moment, which I guess is nice. So you get all that wood. Someone's done the math for us. Free 250 wood. And that, in my opinion, that wood is what makes the fast castle possible. Because that's your blacksmith market. Or close to your blacksmith market right there. Rmcoo made like 50 monks the previous game. Can he do it on Arabia? I mean, if you're Kongen, you've got to go scouts, right? Or like man-at-arms or something really aggressive. You just play your game and then, you know, hope to kill him fast. I still think that Mongols should dominate here because of how much food they're going to have. But again, we'll see. We shall see. Kongen not even looking to move out right now. It just wants food, 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 food. That way the scout never needs to come back home. And I hope everyone out there who's watching this is enjoying the set because the sets have been super nice. Like really refreshing sets of games so far. And the pressure's on for these guys, man. Game 3, important game. Scouts just feels like a no-brainer move, though, with all the food. And we'll see if Kongen clicks up here. Yeah, he's going to click up. Cool. Clicks up, skips Bloom. Why do you need it? He's not going to attack you. And then Rmcoo is still just trying to push in all of his deer. So, Rmcoo sees stone. He sees gold. Could he wall? Like this? I don't think so. It also looks like he's going to click up here. So it's probably not a fast castle. There he goes. So it's 19 pop. I mean, that's still really good. But he's going to play into standard feudal age, which he showed he could do in game 1, even though he lost. So, T90, are you in Hanover next week for the tournament? I will not be, no. I will not be participating with that event at all. Would probably cast it if they didn't have closed streaming for it. I would cast it from home, obviously. I was invited, but it's just super last minute. And it's right before the holidays and a lot of travel and stress, which I don't need for my life right now. So, wish things would have been in a different time. Would have been better for everybody, I think, but I'm sure it'll still be solid for those that participate. Okay, so Kongen's going to go scout. Looking around, and there's the stable for him. All right. And meanwhile, Rmcoo's still walling up. These villagers are very vulnerable. Normally, a scout could kill this villager, but because of how Kongen played it, he doesn't know where his opponent is at all. And we'll probably see scouts as well from Rmcoo, but I'm not even really sure. Really hurts for Kongen. This is the worst possible spot to go. Oh, man. Oh, that's not... What? What? What's wrong with town centers? 0 damage. Hold on, I have to go back. I've been refraining from saying that maybe this needs to be looked at for 2 years. Miss. I mean, those misses make sense. But the one when you're underneath the TC... Let me put it to you this way. It never worked that way before the definitive edition. If you were underneath the TC, you would get hit. So, that obviously works out greatly there for Kongen. That would have been so bad for him. But not too bad for Rmcoo here, guys. It's funny, actually, when I zoomed in Like when I zoomed in on that, it kind of looked like the scout was moving side to side, like right when the shots came in. Also, I don't think there's a hole here, but yeah, maybe that was part of it as well. Archer range opening here for Rmcoo, who is not even fully mining gold yet, but he has defended himself from the scouts, and he's still pushing in Ostrich. And Kongen's got to be looking at this like, this is my home map. This is an open map. Like, I thought this was going to be a different type of game, but what do I do now? And we'll see how aware he is of where the army goes and how much army comes out for Rmcoo. Why was the event so last minute? Doesn't seem to benefit anyone with it being late. Not a question for me. Not a question for me. I personally believe that, like, in general, right, quality is better than quantity, but I think it's really tricky when there are a lot of different things happening. Oh, great quick walls here from Rmcoo. Now, everyone wants to do something. Everyone's excited, which is just awesome. And as this archer's going to get picked off there, I think that's probably part of it, right? If there's ever anything rushed and the timeline doesn't look good, it's just because there's so many other things going on. But we'll see how things go. I mean, I'm bummed not to be able to be a part of said event, right? I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is, and I really don't think it would have been good for me, my family, my life, and I think it would be a bit more stress than I need right now. So you gotta make the right decisions. I'll be honest. Rmcoo's play has been a little shaky so far. He lost his scout. He doesn't know at all where his opponent is. He doesn't have any farms yet. Now, granted, he still has the goats, but it doesn't seem like he's building up towards a strong castle age unless we see an early market, which I could see him maybe doing. That said, his food count's really good, right? And Kongen's going to come try and deny the gold a little bit with some skirm pressure. And I like it. He's not over-investing into army, but he's making enough, and he knows his opponent is on ranged units, so the skirms are going to be there for that. Did get hit there by the TC fire, which actually really hurts. The spearman's also helping as well. So this is a little sloppy from Kongen, because I could see Rmcoo pushing out in a bit once he gets 1 or 2 more units. But, I mean, is he going to get 1 or 2 more units? I don't know if he's going to get 1 or 2 more units, and it could be possible that Kongen reaches castle age at a decent time. Good walling from him. It's been shown to him on the other side that that's a possibility. Okay. We're going to see a market soon. for little old Rmcoo. We're going to see a market soon. For the arena player turned... Or I guess you could say the Serengeti player turned arena player, or arena player who's turned Serengeti into arena. Farms. All right, there you go. Crazy uptime from Kongen. Reminds me of game 1, too. Just so clean, showing he's comfortable here. I wonder if Rmcoo is going to have the game sense, though, to realize fletching isn't in for Kongen and that he could push out. It just must be so scary, though, because he doesn't know anything. And, you know, by the time he would get over there, you know, Kongen could get that and jump on that army, so... There it is, baby. There it is. So we're going to see the stone sold. This villager's just hanging out by the stone, by the way. As is this villager. She's been idle forever. Castle Age on the way for 1 player. Still no fletching upgrade. We've got 9 ranged units versus 4. One of the scouts is also weak. A confident Arabia player would be moving out right now. I'm still curious on what Kongen will go for, though, because he's not making more skirms. And we've seen people go like knights, steppe lancers, all types of things with Mongols these days. Feels like steppe lancers would actually be a bit off with his eco, because he just has a lot on gold, so maybe knights. Which is fine, right? Like, that's completely fine. Also, the person who's blowing up my phone right now, that's not completely fine. Oh, that's actually my fiance. Oh, God. So, we just got new cat feeders. They're on timers. And she bought one with cameras on them, which is so utterly ridiculous to me. So I just got photos of the cats eating their lunch. Fantastic. She gets a pass. Yeah, she gets a pass. It's so extra, man. That wasn't the only reason we got new cat feeders, by the way. But we'll see if the other convenience factors make it worth it. All right, so definitely going to be stable units. Kongen's probably going to fall right back into his little base here once he sees Castle Age. You don't want to be out here. I think I said Kongen. I meant to say Rmcoo. Well, the photos, like the way the camera's positioned, is it doesn't even take a photo of the cat's face. It's just got a photo of their neck. Oh man, walling to the TC. The army's pulling back. Oh, he's gonna go organs. He's on stone. He's gonna go organs. Well, that's what I was thinking originally. And then we have a town center for Kongen. He's gonna go step lancers. Obviously, if he were to get in, this game would be potentially over. So keep a close eye on your wood lines here if you're Rmcoo. Yeah, I can't show you the photos easily because it's on my phone. But just imagine crappy quality camera taking a photo of a fuzzy cat's neck. I'm just being a little negative about it. It's fine. It's pretty cool. She's excited about it. And if there's one thing I've learned is if she's excited about it, I'm excited about it because we're in this together. Castle, monks. Oh, God. I would hate being Kongen right now. This has so much potential. Mongols don't get redemption. Organ guns are already, like, stupid strong in the first place, even if you do get redemption to convert them. I think that Rmcoo could win this. This all-in potential's going to be insane. Oh, man, what do you make? I think you need manga dye. And I think he's thinking about it, right? He's making more villagers. He's adding TCs. He's made a couple units. This is a normal game. Rmcoo says, I'm not going to make this Serengeti. I'm going to make this as close to arena as possible here. Also getting a little bit of PTSD because I faced up against this earlier. Okay, so this is where it gets awkward here, right? Do you go in for the monk? I think you do. You probably lose a step lancer, but you kill the monk, and then that monk can't convert again, which is kind of the whole point. Nice quick walling here from Rmcoo to keep himself safe. Now that there's 3 organs, I don't think the step lancers do anything. Will we see a market for Kongen? So he can buy some stone? Also, we should mention Rmcoo's economy is really good for 1 TC. He's got good food eco, but yeah, it's just going to be mainly mining. Oh, man. Yeah, Mangadai should get a bonus against Siege, but the problem is the base attack and the fact organs don't need fletching and organs still have more range. I mean, Step Lancers actually seem to be doing pretty good for now. You're just buying time because you have the eco lead. This is really good. It's still, like, as good as it gets. Not great, but I think that was the correct play. Just like before with the monk, take out as much as you can. But the next castle could go up on Kongen's face. That's what Rmcoo always likes to do. And big moment. Big moment. And Step Lancers see the Vills. Okay, now, I think you have to buy your own castle and get your own castle up as soon as possible. At home, if you're Kongen. I can't really offer much more advice. This is so insane. Well, he's making more Step Lancers. Step Lancers haven't been awful so far. And actually, the gold count is really low right now for Rmcoo. He's actually out of stone, too. And he doesn't have Vills on gold. He also has never been to his opponent's base this game. Oh, man. I think the Step Lancers could take it. Don't worry about the Vills. Get the organ guns. Get the hill as well. Oh, that's so nice. This could be the game, guys. Kongen might be able to deny the castle. There's not enough organ guns. There's not enough monks. And the villagers will have no protection. And this is all building up towards the castle that needed to go up. The Step Lancers doing the job. Who needs knights, man? And Mongol Step Lancers are no joke because of the extra HP. I think other Step Lancers, I mean, maybe Tatars, because you have the hill, could be nice, but this castle from Rmcoo is a castle you place knowing you're probably dead now. Great job from Kongen this game. He's killed 7 villagers. More importantly, though, he's stopped that all in from snowballing. I don't think the steps have any specific bonus against the Organ Guns, but the way Step Lancers can hit from 1 tile away allows them to take some pretty good fights against monks and Organ Guns. Like big clumps, Step Lancers are really good. Or against big clumps. Okay, so it's going to be double castle organs, but now the eco difference is insane. And now you can have defensive castles, and now it's like, even if you're taking really bad fights all the time, you should win this game because your economy's just light years ahead on upgrades and obviously everything else. You still need to be cautious, of course. No, I think the forward castle was correct. I think the problem for Rmcoo was that he lost the early monk. He lost a couple organs. Like, all those numbers really mattered. That could have led to 2 or 3 more conversions if he had 2 or 3 more monks, 2 or 3 more kills if he had 2 or 3 more organs. Organs are a stupid unit. I absolutely agree with you. It's like, it feels like there's so many situations where they feel uncounterable. So I'm with Varian in chat that I really am happy to see Organ Guns lose. But it comes at a really heavy cost. And so that heavy cost means you have to make the follow-up castle kill your opponent or like contribute to the killing of your opponent. And so chasing isn't exactly going to do it, but you have to because this is amazing play from Kongen. And look, like those were good quick walls, but the Step Lancers all poked that one little palisade. This is so cool, man. Anyone else pumped about the fact we're seeing Step Lancers a lot more? I was saying months ago, like before Red Bull, I was like, Mongol Step Lancers are no joke. It was Tato who went for Tatar Step Lancers in Red Bull. And ever since, everyone else has been trying it at a high level. But I think they were always good at mid-elo. I just couldn't find a good recorded game to show people. I'm a little bummed I didn't do that before the big moment at Red Bull, right? Because now it's like, well, T90, you know, Tato showed us. I was pumped, so pumped for Tato about that, by the way. Still am. Oh, man. That is a lot of Organ Guns. Okay, there's going to be a castle from Rmcoo. You could deny this castle if you saw it. Well... Well, what do? Protect your villagers or deny the castle? Okay, there's Mangadai coming in as well. I think the organs win this fight. But again, look at the eco difference. And because the castle will go up. And Blue's castle is delayed. And that's still just more than enough here to feel comfortable. As long as your castle goes up. As long as your castle goes up. If your castle doesn't go up, it feels more awkward. Oh, God, get the castle up. Got it. Yeah. You got double castle on either side now, and you're going to be an imp. That's going to be it. Kongen's going to win the series. But what a great series it was. Like, Rmcoo is such a fun player. It's a bit of a shame. Game number 1 could have actually been a victory for him, which is wild. I mean, he went crazy here. But it's not like he didn't show that he could play more standard settings as well. Like, his strategy was really good in Atacama. And he was a few decisions away from winning that one, too. But ultimately, in my predictions, I did have my boy Kongen going through. He's just better on... Like, he's weaker on closed maps, but, like, hybrid maps, land maps, competitive settings, I think he's the more talented player right now. You guys also have to know this bit of history. He also has, like, a pretty... long competitive history, even though he hasn't played over the last couple years. One of the first casts I ever did a Viper in a tournament was versus Kongen Sade in 2014 or 2015, one of those years. And Kongen Sade is Kongen. So it's the same player. So like he played against big boys back then, obviously plays a lot of ladder games now, and has been more and more active on the ladder over the last few years, and is a talent that could maybe go places. So happy to see it. Happy to see it. We'll see. I got to look at the bracket to see who he'll be up against, but I think he might be one of the favorites. with who he could be up against next. Obviously, shout out to Rmcoo. Sorry to see you go out, man, but thanks for playing. It was awesome. There's the eco difference there. GG.